Hi, my name's John here. I'm the designer of games like Sensible Soccer, Cannon Fodder, Whizball, Parallax and Sociable Soccer, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hello Andy, this is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig.
Hi, David here, One Up Gaming. Gonna go through this week's games. So, episode 414 of the One Up Gaming podcast. Gonna go through 7 games played this week. As always, sponsored by Games Inspired Music. Buy it, stream it, all that good stuff. And 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. We also have our first 100 podcasts available from audiobooksontape.com. Go on there, search One Up Gaming, and if you buy that, we will donate £1 of each sale to the Diabetes UK charity. So, with all that said, I will just like to mention in the first part of this show, if it's worked, we did have a new sort of like toy to play with from Antlion, the ModMic 2. So I've got my old crappy headset and I've stuck some on the actual device on the side, and as you can see, the little sticker things there on the side of there, just on there, and let's see if you can hear it. So that like magnetically clicks in there. So as you see, it is just on there, and you just, it's just a great device, a great thing. And unfortunately, all my sort of like, I've only got 2 pairs of headphones. One, my wireless ones, which it's the Microsoft wireless ones, and they've got the headset thing built in. I don't use it. I use my Blue Snowball, and those ones which are really crap and cheap. The sound not too bad though, but I've never used the microphone on that, and it doesn't detach, so it doesn't really fit those headphones. But the Antlion Audio ModMic 2, you can get it in either USB or 3.5 jack. And yeah, they're really good. Hopefully the first part of this podcast, you'll hear the sound difference from the Snowball to the Antlion ModMic 2. But other than that, should we get on with the show? So first game we played this week is Alien vs Predator on the Jaguar. Yep, you heard that right, we played it on the Jag. Now, I remember playing this, it must have been like 94, 95 sort of time. So it'd have been 13, 14. It was absolutely amazing. I loved this game so much. It was amazing. It was an absolute godsend of a game. Time might not be too kind to it now, because you go to play the game and it is a little bit dodgy. It just plays a little bit dodgy, to be honest. Because I think there's walk forwards, walk backwards, strafe, left and right, and then you press the button to rotate, and you just sort of like rotate on the spot. So you can't really, like on modern shooters, you can't really run one direction and turn the other direction. Even Doom seemed to play a little bit more free with the movement of the character. So, and it's just a little bit slow, a little bit pedestrian, but yeah, it's still a good game. It's still a good game. I really do enjoy the game. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? I guess what we can do is move on to the next game. And the next game in the list is Shield King. Now, Shield King was a top-down view small sprites sort of arena twin sticky shooter, but instead of having shooties, you have a shield, and you do a charge attack, and you ram into the enemies with your shield and take life off them, and then you have to quickly move out the way, because if you don't, then the enemies can actually strike and hurt you and cause damage to yourself. And it's a good little game. I quite enjoyed the game itself. It's fun, it's fast, frantic, it's just a fun little game. Very simple, sort of like graphics, very simple game. But yeah, I guess it reminds me of like a mobile sort of game. But at the end of the day, it's fun. You know, it's just a fun little game. So yeah, I'd recommend it. It's a nice little game. So moving on, we played. I saw a video of someone updating Sega Worldwide Soccer. I guess it was 98, the European Club Edition. And they've called it Sega Worldwide Soccer 23. They've updated the players to the new players, and they've taken, I think it was Coventry City off the game and put Man City on, and put all the Man City players on, and they've added some little bits and bobs. But like when I played the game, I downloaded it from there. Sort of like they sort of put up links on the YouTube video that they had, and it was not. I can't explain it. It had some graphical artifacts in the game, and it just, yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. It played the same. It just had some weird graphical artifacts in the game. It had no sound, and you know, it just wasn't there. So I don't know if I downloaded it wrong or put it in wrong, but it just didn't play well. Didn't play well at all. But yeah, I enjoyed the original game so much on the Sega Saturn. But like I said, this is like a modern remake. I wish they'd have taken more time and actually not just updated Man City, actually updated all of the actual players and teams and names and everything from the modern day sort of Premier League sort of thing, because I think that would have been more fun. It would have been more fun for me anyway. But yeah, give it a go. See what you guys think. If you enjoyed the Sega Saturn, then you can download it for free and give it a go and message the guys what you think of the game. But I wasn't, like I say, I got a really bad copy of the game, I think. So I would just like to say I'm sorry. And hopefully in the future I might be able to get a better version of the game and see how it sort of goes. But yeah, so we'll move to the next game, and the next game was Princess Peach Showtime. Now again, this was for the Switch. There we go. Jesus, man. And it was just, I mean, what can you say? It was just not. It started off as like in a 3D hub world where you're in the theatre complex, and after that it goes to more of like your traditional 2D side-on sort of game, and it's just a really bad 2D side-on Mario style sort of game, and I wasn't impressed at all. Unfortunately, it just didn't work for me. Graphically, it looked just like all the other side-on 3D games from Nintendo recently, like that Unity glossed, shiny, plastic-looking sort of characters. It played okay and looked nice. That's about the best that I can do. But yeah, I wasn't massively impressed with it. Sorry guys. So next up we have what was the next game? Next up we have Sports Jam for the Sega Dreamcast. And this one, if you don't know, was an arcade game where it featured, I'm gonna say, about 6 or 7 sports. Some of them were doubled up. So some, say like the golf, you had the closest to the pin sort of challenge, and then the putt challenge. So you had the 2 options to try and get the actual game in, on that. And then they have like football, and then they have American football and tennis. So they do have a few bits and bobs sort of like going in its favour. I just think because it was like built as an arcade game, it's very sort of like stiff and stilted. It would have looked amazing, like 20 years ago, whenever it was that it actually came out. But for now, if you're looking at it and playing on it, it's just a bit, it's not the greatest of games. But, I mean, what the hell can you do? It's a game that came out on the Dreamcast that was a budget sort of arcade knockoff straight onto the Dreamcast. No real changes or updates to it. You can play like the one-off events or do like the arcade mode where you have to clear the first stage then go to the next one. But yeah, other than that, it's about it really. That's all that we've played this week. So I would say that the game of the week is probably Mario Kart Double Dash, even though the handling felt a little bit iffy and it took a little bit of while, because like normally the handling's quite good. It normally like turns quite quick, whereas this one it seemed very understeery, so you had to get into your drift to get around corners easier, whereas newer ones seem a bit more planted on the road. But yeah, what are we gonna do? So that's the games and that we've played this week, plus also the Antlion Audio's ModMic 2. So hopefully the first segment's worked and you'll be able to hear me talking on that. You'll be able to tell because I won't be sat in this little room with my on-air light on. It'll be sat in the living room on a little table with my books and with a YouTube light next to me. So hopefully that's worked. So yeah, thank you all. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the 10 minutes of nothing. So thank you all, and we'll be back soon.